Is your business as protected as it should be? Just like good physical hygiene keeps your body healthy, cyber hygiene helps keep your business healthy and safe from digital threats. Building strong cyber habits can be the key to defending your data and ensuring smooth operations. Today, we're going to be diving into the essentials of cyber hygiene and how updating your current cybersecurity policies and practices can help strengthen and propel your business in the new year. Hello, everyone. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and New Year's. I'm Michael Kneddam, CEO and founder here at iTernal Networks, where we believe in empowering businesses with the knowledge they need to succeed and to stay safe. We love building safe and secure environments for people to do what they love, what they're passionate about. And so part of that is I go live every Friday around 1 p.m. Pacific time on all of our social pages to discuss different cybersecurity and educational topics and technology to help empower fellow business owners and other individuals. These live streams aim to help you to feel more confident in your knowledge of business technology and cybersecurity in general. At iTernal Networks, as I said, we're dedicated to creating those safe and secure environments and helping people to be educated on the threats that are out there and on things that they can do to help fortify their environment is a big part of our overall mission. At the end of the live stream, I will make sure to leave some time to answer questions from the audience. So those of you that are watching live, get your questions ready. It can be related to the topic today, or it could be anything, right? If you have any technology or cybersecurity questions, please throw them in there. We'd love to interact and answer your questions. All right, now to our topic of the day. What is cyber hygiene? Cyber hygiene refers to the practices and protocols that maintain the integrity and security of your digital environment, of your computer systems, your network, your IT infrastructure. Just like maintaining proper physical hygiene can lead to better health, and having good hygiene habits can build better health over time, adhering to good cyber hygiene protects your devices and sensitive information from threats such as malware and hackers, and over time can help improve that even more. It's all about keeping your online life clean, safe, and secure. So why is it important, and why are we discussing it today? Well, cyber criminals are constantly finding new ways to access systems, to steal your data, to steal your clients' data, your employees' data, and to cause issues or outages with your systems. They want to be able to charge ransoms, right, and collect money and sell your data to others. And so as a result of this, we see new attacks every day. We hear about new attacks almost every day. A very small percentage of the attacks actually make the news. The FBI thinks that as low as 20% of the attacks are reported to any sort of agency, whether it's the news, whether it's law enforcement or anything. Most of the attacks are never disclosed because organizations are private, right? Because they're embarrassed, because they don't want their clients to know, they don't want to ruin their name, right? And so we know this, right? There's lots of studies and data out there that solidifies this information, right? And so it's happening all around us. It's happening. And by practicing good cyber hygiene, you can take a big step to help prevent that from happening to you, to safeguard your data, to safeguard your clients and your employees' data, and to ensure that your operations are able to run smoothly. So I have a list of tips, of practices that you can start using today. Hopefully you're already doing some of them. And I would hope that you could make a goal of implementing them into your company's culture to help fortify its future. Really, cyber hygiene should become part of the company's culture. If you have a security culture within your organization where everybody is working together, that's really the end goal. That's what we strive to do here at our organization and also with our clients and their organizations. All right, let's dig right in. Tip number 1, make sure you have strong passwords. Passwords are like the keys to your digital home or your office. make sure that you're making them strong and unique. Here's a couple of tips around this, right? Use long passwords. Don't use anything short. Anything 8 characters or less, criminals can get in very easily with that. We want something that's minimum of 12 characters or longer. Using something like a sentence, like "I love eating pizza on Fridays!" ! That is strong and memorable. You can remember that. And what's the likelihood that a criminal is going to guess that your password is "I love eating pizza on Fridays," right? With a capital F. And so use phrases, right? Long phrases that make it easier to remember. Mix it up, right? Using that same "I like eating pizza on Fridays," you could throw in some different punctuation or different specialty characters or different numbers in there to mix it up and make sure that you're using upper, lowercase, special characters. All of that is part of your overall password. And then make sure that you're not reusing passwords. Make sure you use a unique password for every account to limit damage if one account does get compromised. And along with these lines, all 3 of these is so much easier to do if you're using a password manager. So if you're using a password manager in your organization and everybody's using a password manager and all passwords are in that password manager, 1, it's easy to make sure that your minimum password requirements for length and complexity are met. 2, you don't have to remember all of them, right? And 3, you can use a unique password for every different. So you can do all of those just by using a password manager. All right, next tip. Tip number 2, make sure you're using up-to-date software. Updating your software is like reinforcing your IT infrastructure against any emerging vulnerabilities. We monitor for vulnerabilities for our clients and in general, right? I almost daily, I get emails from various different threads that I subscribe to of, "Hey, there's a new vulnerability in this software. Hey, there's a new vulnerability in this firewall or this network equipment. You need to make sure your clients are protected." And so daily, right, there's new vulnerabilities. And the fix, update your software. This allows you to fix any security holes that hackers could be exploiting in that software. Also, this is an extra bonus, you get new features. Updates can often improve functionality and add cool new features. And many programs allow you to turn on automatic updates to set it and forget it. All right, tip number 3. I feel like I talk about this one like at least once a month on these live streams. Use 2-factor or multi-factor authentication, 2FA or MFA. Think about that as adding a second lock to your digital doors, right? So if you've got a key, that's great, but now you got to have a second key to be able to unlock that door as well. And how it works, if you're not familiar with it, it combines your password, something that you know, with something that you have, like a phone that receives a text message code or a fingerprint or facial recognition. Any of those would be a type of MFA or 2-factor authentication. It's important that you enable this on anything that you can, but especially on any important account like your email, your bank accounts, and your social media. All right, next tip. Make sure you're staying safe on any public Wi-Fi. Public Wi-Fi can be risky for various reasons, and I've talked about it on other live streams. I'll probably talk about it again in the future, but make sure that you're protecting yourself when you're connecting to public Wi-Fi. If possible, use a VPN. That creates a secure tunnel for your data so that nothing can be sniffed by any criminals or bad guys out there. Also, if you're not on a VPN, make sure that you're not doing any sensitive tasks. Don't do your banking, don't do online shopping, don't do anything that if somebody was sniffing and intercepting that traffic, that they would be able to then compromise your identity. And then also, don't turn on auto connect. Like if you're connecting to a Starbucks or a hotel or an airport Wi-Fi, uncheck that box. Don't make sure that you're automatically connecting to that, because that by turning that on, by allowing your computer to automatically connect to that Starbucks network or that airport network, that can allow your computer to automatically connect to a fake network with the same name and password, allowing potential access to your system through a criminal. So make sure you're disabling that auto connect on any of that private or that public free Wi-Fi. All right, tip number 5. Make sure that you understand how to recognize phishing scams. Phishing refers to cyber attacks that leverage deceptive tactics to extract sensitive business or personal information. Make sure you're looking closely at the sender. Email address, phone numbers, right, text messages, wherever this comes from, make sure you're looking very closely at the sender to make sure that you recognize who it's coming from. Avoid clicking on any suspicious links, right? Hover over the links, see where they go to. Don't click on anything that's suspicious, and don't click on anything if you're not expecting it as well. Also, scammers often create a false sense of urgency. So keep an eye out for that in the messaging, right? Like, hey, today only, you have to do this. It's an emergency. Like any of those type of things that try to get your emotions like, oh, I have to do this now. That is a common tactic used by these scammers in phishing. And so anytime you see something that's driving a sense of urgency, take a step back and look at this and say, hey, is this legitimate? All right, tip number 6, back up your data. Backing up your data, that's your safety net, right? We want to prevent anything bad from happening. We want to prevent ransomware. We want to prevent data breach. We want to prevent all of those things. But sometimes things happen, right? Sometimes something gets through. Backup is really exactly that. It's your backup, right? It's your backup to all the security preventative measures, also equipment failure. And so if there is ransomware, then backups protect you. If ransomware locks your files, you don't have to pay the ransom. You can still get your data back. It helps you to recover lost files from accidental deletions. It also helps prevent against physical failures of equipment or theft. Several years ago, a client in Las Vegas called me in because they were vandalized and their server had been damaged by a disgruntled former employee. And so we were able to restore and recover from their backup to get them back up and running. So backup really protects against a lot of different types of things, not just cyber crimes and ransomware. With your backups, make sure you're doing the 3-2-1 rule. Make sure you have 3 different copies of your data on 2 different storage types, and make sure that one of those copies is offsite and disconnected from your systems. Tip number 7, review your privacy settings regularly. Now you can determine what regularly means. You know, if you're super paranoid, maybe you want to do that weekly. I would say probably something more along the lines of quarterly, making sure you're keeping an eye on things. But privacy settings control who sees your information. Set up some sort of a schedule to go in and review those privacy settings on your different accounts. Make sure that you're closing any old accounts that you're not using. Any dormant accounts that are out there is just one more potential breach point. And then only share what's necessary. If you have any social media, any third-party vendor that you're logging into and providing information, don't give them everything. Only share what's necessary to be able to do business with them or interact with their software. Tip number 8, this is my last one. Make sure that you're teaching your team, and I would also say take it home to your family, right? Make sure you're teaching cyber safety. Everyone in your organization and at home in your household should know the basics. Make it fun. Use games or stories or different examples to teach them. Lead by example. Show them how to have good cyber habits. Make sure that whatever you're teaching them that you're doing. Set that example for them so that they can't say, well, yeah, the boss doesn't do it, so I don't think I need to do it. Or dad doesn't do it, so I don't need to do it. Talk about your online experiences and keep an open dialogue about online activity and safety, both in your organization and at home, to make sure that the things that you care about are being protected. Good cyber hygiene can make a huge difference in your online safety for not only for this year, but also beyond, right? We want to build those good habits, those good cyber habits that lead to good cyber hygiene, good cyber health. If you've got any questions or unsure about anything, let me know. I'd love to chat with you about it. You can schedule a one-on-one with me via the link below. That's exactly why I got into this business, right? I want to help people make sure that they're staying safe and secure and protected. So if you want to reach out to us directly, you can do that. Drop us a message. There's lots of different ways. You know, if you're seeing me on social media here, you know how to connect with me. Send me a direct message, any of those methods to reach out. Let me just check our comments and see if there's any questions from our live audience. I don't see any questions. from our audience today. So if you're watching this later after the fact, throw them in the comments. I will get back to you, promise, or you can direct message me if you don't want to be public about it. Thanks for joining today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, right? Leave a comment with any comments, thoughts, questions you might have. Your feedback really is important to us. It helps us to create more content that's valuable to you. Also, you can subscribe to our channels, hit that bell notification icon so you get updates as well. Also, if you'd like a transcript of this video for sharing or references, we'll post that in the comments and descriptions below as well. Remember, we're here to help navigate the world of technology and cybersecurity through providing you with knowledge and power. So if you need any further assistance, like I said, reach out. We'd be glad to help. Hope your year is starting out wonderful, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.